How about now? Uh, uh, Yay! Hey y'all. What's up? He tried it. Not today. Not today. We got studying to do. We got exit HESIs coming up. We got 100%, 95%, 90%, 85% mandatory tests we gotta pass. We got stuff to do. Not today. How are y'all? How has your weekend been? Like I was trying to say, I am Carlena. Nerd C for short. A blessed RN on all social media aspects. And I am here to help you with dosage calculations tonight. We are having sound technical difficulties, speech technical difficulties, and I don't know what it is, but we're going to get this done tonight. So y'all let me know, where are y'all coming in from tonight? I know people all across the United States have been tuned in, especially on this past Saturday. What kind of programs are you in? RN, LPN, BSN, Accelerated, bridge. I think that's really almost all of them, because if you're doing like a master's or something, like they don't really let you do dosage calculate. Bay Area, California. Okay, San Diego, Associates, Oregon. Cool, cool. Awesome. Well, I'm glad to have y'all here with me. It is cool of you to join. I just want to let y'all know that this is streaming live on YouTube right now. Okay, so hey, YouTubers, after our session is done, you will be able to view the replay. So I also have other videos that are broken down in an individualized playlist that are over on my YouTube channel, A Blessed RN. The state of TikTok is unforeseen and unknown, so I will still be stream over there if anything happens. So y'all go over to my YouTube, A Blessed RN, and subscribe for those notifications as well. Y'all ready? Dimensional analysis cool tonight? DA? DA? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's do it. Wait. All right. Boom. So, yes, please. Okay. So, y'all know that I do know how to do other methods. I'm not just a one-trick pony. But dimensional analysis lets you do any dosage calculation problem the same way, the same time, without having to no formulas. So that's why I push it a lot. And a lot of people also are like afraid of math or aren't good at math. With dimensional analysis, you don't need to be. So tonight we're going to start off a little bit slow, and then we're going to go into some more heavy stuff, okay? Yeah. All right. Boom. Hey, Nurse Kevin. How you doing? Thank you for the roses. Y'all, I know a lot of people ask me, hey, don't you teach anything else? No, I do not. Math is my baby. Dosage is what I do. But Nurse Kevin right there, he's going to help you out with your NCLEX style questions, how to study for your test, break down different aspects of nursing questions, because we know nursing questions will be like, there are 5 right answers, but which one is the most right? So he's going to help you out real good. I think he's got a workshop coming up soon too. I'm going to put it in my link in my bio. But yeah, y'all go over to and follow Nurse Kevin, because he's real awesome in helping you with your nursing content as well, okay? Find the BSA of a patient who weighs 55 pounds and is 3 feet and 2 inches tall. All right. So, boom. BSA is going to be your body surface area. So, there are 2 different formulas for BSA. There's one for metric, and then there's one for like the US system of measure. Okay. So, BSA is measured in meters squared. So, you'll take the square root of the patient's weight in kilograms times the patient's height in centimeters divided by 3,600. Or you'll do meters squared equals the square root of the patient's weight in pounds times the patient's height in inches divided by 3131. Okay? So, which one do y'all want to do? Do y'all want to do metric or do you want to do US? And I don't like that I can't find my top. I bet you Leilani took it. Metric. All right. There are two different formulas because one is for metric and then one is for the US, right? He says my brain, exactly. So if you're doing the metric, it's going to be your weight and height in kilograms and centimeters, those units of measure, divided by 3,600. If you leave it in pounds and inches, it's going to be divided by 3131. I don't know who came up with it. I just memorized it, okay? But there is a difference when you do it. But they should come out to the same thing if you do it the same, using the same values. All right, so boom. If we're doing the metric, that means we're going to have to convert our pounds to kilograms and then our height to centimeters. So how many pounds are in 1 kilogram? I have to get it right because I'll start talking too fast. Hey. Good evening, good evening. There is 1 kilogram and 2.2 pounds, all right? So if we're looking for kilograms, we're going to start with kilograms. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. I have 55 pounds, and I'll put it over 1. My pounds cross out. 55 divided by 2.2 is going to be 25 kgs, okay? So boom. Then we need to do our height in inches. So this has got to be converted to inches first. You add your inches together and then you turn them into centimeters, okay? So we know that 1 foot is 12 inches. So if we're looking for inches, we'll do 12 inches is 1 foot times 3 feet over 1. Your feet cross out. And so that's going to be 36 inches plus the other 2 inches that you already have, which would be 38 inches, okay? So now that we have inches, we can go to centimeters. So we know that 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. If we're looking for, yes ma'am, if we have if we're looking for centimeters, we'll start with centimeters. You always start with what you're looking for. If you start with what you're looking for, you don't have to go and find it. A lot of people say, well, what do I start with? What do I put on the bottom? What do I put on the top? Start with what you're looking for. Put it right there at the top. Okay, so 2.54 centimeters is 1 inch, and we have what? 38 inches over 1. Inches crosses out, so 38 times 2.54 is going to be 96.52 centimeters. Now, all you have to do now is plug this, and this into there, okay? So, do I have room? I might have to erase. And don't worry, like I said, you can go on the replay on a Bless RN's YouTube page and view all these problems that we're doing tonight. Oh man, why did I do that? Anybody remember what that was? Oh, did y'all get what it was? Ah! Okay, so I know it's 25 kgs. Sheesh, I knew it was 38 inches. Let's see, it was 38 inches times 2.54. All right, I got it. 96.52 centimeters. All righty, boom. And then we'll divide it by 3,600. So we'll do 25 times 96.52 divided by 3,600 equals, and then you hit the square root button. And so our meters squared will be 0.81, okay? That's how you do that. It's as easy as plugging in the formula. The hardest thing is remembering the 3,600 and the 3,131. I've got one more so we can practice that again just in case, because a lot of people don't do BSA or haven't seen BSA. So here's another one. Find the BSA of a patient who weighs 125 pounds and is 5 feet and 4 inches. Do y'all want to do this one in metric or do you want to do this one in US system of measure? I'm going to write out the formulas while y'all tell me. Metric or US? All right, US. So this one, you have your weight in pounds times. So this is 5 feet, 4 inches. We're only gonna have to convert. Yeah, this one's a lot less work. This one, you're gonna have to just convert your feet to inches and then add those together. So we know that 1 foot is 12 inches. So we're looking for inches. We'll start with inches. 12 feet. 12 inches is 1 foot. And then we have 5 feet. And so that's going to be 60. And then plus your other 4. So you have 64 inches altogether. Okay. So 64 inches over 31. Boom. 125 times 64 divided by 31. Take the square root. Hold on. 125 times 64 divided by 31 equals. And we'll take the square root. Boom. So that'll be meters squared is 1.59. Okay. Alrighty. Now that we're a little warmed up, we done did some metric conversions. We done found BSA. Let's get into it. A patient who weighs 200 pounds is receiving an IV infusion running at the rate of 12.5 micrograms per kilogram per minute. The drip is supplied in a 250 milliliter bag with the concentration of 500 milligrams per 250 mLs. How long will it take for the IV infusion to be completed? So the first thing that you do after you read your question is find out what is this asking you to find. Okay, it says how long. So what is that? That's time, right? So we're going to find hours. That is what we're looking for. Okay, next step is to then put your puzzle pieces or your relationships, whatever you want to refer to them as, the information that's important. We're going to get that and we're going to put it to the side so we'll know what we have to work with, so you won't have to go back and reread the problem and then get confused, because sometimes it has a lot of words, a lot of numbers, percentages, all of that stuff in there, but it's sometimes it's fluff. Okay, so we know that we have a 200-pound patient. Okay, and it's going at 12.5 micrograms per kg per minute. So this is a weight-based IV medicine. So we know we're going to need the weight to figure out the rate, right? Boom. So then the medicine is a 250 ml bag. And then we have 500 milligrams per 250 mLs is your concentration. We want to find the rate in hours, okay? So you're first going to have to, you're going to have to find out how long it's going to take. So first, you're going to have to set up the rate, which is going to be milliliters per hour, because this is just giving you all this information, right? It's not telling you how fast the IV is going in. We have to figure all of that from the weight of the patient and the prescription. So this is what we'll find first, okay? So we need milliliters on the top and hours on the bottom. So we are looking for milliliters. We'll start with this puzzle piece, okay? So I'm going to do 250 milliliters over 500 milligrams, all right? Boom. So now I've got milligrams on the bottom. I need milligrams on the top to cross it out, because that's the name of the game with dimensional analysis. You cross out everything that you do not need except for what's in that goal. You want milliliters at the top and hours at the bottom. Everything else has to be crossed out. So we don't have milligrams. We have micrograms. So we know that we can convert milligrams to micrograms. So we'll do milligrams at the top, micrograms at the bottom. 1 milligram is 1,000 micrograms. And some people get confused on where you put the 1 and where you put the 1,000. Remember, the biggest unit is going to have the 1 by it. The smallest unit is going to have the 1,000 by it. It takes 1,000 little crumbs to come together to make one big cookie. That's how my mind works. Hopefully it helps you. All right. So micrograms is at the bottom. We need micrograms at the top. So 12.5 micrograms per kilogram per minute. Mics crossed out. And then we have our patient's weight in pounds. So we need to do 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Kilograms is crossed out. We still just crossing out units, okay? No math has been done yet. 200, let's see, pounds, because we got pounds at the bottom, we need pounds at the top. And then one more thing we need, because we need hour at the bottom, we have minutes at the bottom right now. So we'll do, and I'm running out of space, I always do this, 60 minutes over 1 hour. So your minutes cross out, okay? Boom. Now that's finished. So what I like to do is I don't like to write down things. I like to keep them in the calculator. You ever had one of those long problems and it's in the millions and you got all these zeros? You might forget a zero. You might not put it back in the calculator. Keep it all in the calculator. Hit the equal sign one time and you'll still get the same answer. So across the top, we'll do all of your numbers. Hit multiply in between. Once you get to that 60 at the top, if you can see it, that's squeezed in there, you hit divide. Then you put all your numbers in at the bottom and you hit divide in between those. I don't include the ones because they don't make a difference. Once you get done entering your numbers at the bottom, you hit the equal sign and that's going to give you your answer. So we'll do 250 times 125 times 200 times 60 divide 500 divide 1000 divide 2.2. So that's going to tell us that we need to have our medicine going at 34.09 milliliters an hour. And we're going to round this just to the nearest whole number, which is going to be 34 milliliters an hour. Okay, so that is the rate. That's how fast this medicine needs to infuse. But we're not done yet, okay, because it says how long will it take for it to be complete. So therefore, we now have to find hours. Okay, so if our medicine is going in at 34 milliliters an hour and we have a 250 ml bag, then how long is it going to take? So 250 ml bag. All right. So if we're looking for hours, we start with hours. I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip it because I need hours at the top. So hour over 34 milliliter. Okay. Then it says that I have 250 mLs in my bag. Okay. So 250 milliliters over 1. Boom, boom. 250 divided by 34 is going to be 7.35. So this part is the hour part and this part is the minute part. So everything after the decimal is the minute part. I don't know what 0.35 minutes is. So therefore you're going to have to take 0.35 times 60 and it'll tell you the true number of minutes. Okay. And that's going to be 21 minutes. So it'll take 7 hours and 21 minutes for this infusion to complete. I passed my exit, Hesse, because of your amazing help with MedMouth. Yes! Yay! Congratulations. I'm so excited for you. Anybody have questions about this problem that we just did? It was a real combo. So you had to know how to do a certain amount of things, but I'm willing to go back and explain each step because I've been seeing these pop up with people asking, what is this? Anybody have questions? Nope. All right. On to the next one. Alrighty. So this is a heparin and time completion one. Okay, so a heparin drip has been started at 8:30 on 4/6/24 for a patient who weighs 145 pounds. The order is 17 units per kilogram per hour, with the available heparin preparation of 40,000 units and 250 milliliters. At what time will the infusion be complete? So again, this is a completion and time IV problem. So what do we have here? It started at this time and on this date. We've got our patient's weight, which is 145 pounds, and then it's going at 17 units per kg per hour, and then the medicine itself is 40,000 units of heparin in a 250 ml bag. So we're going to have to do it the same way that we just did the other one and find the rate. We got to see how fast, which is the rate, milliliter per hour, is this going, okay? So we'll do milliliter per hour is our goal. That's what we're looking for. So we want milliliters on the top. We need to start with our milliliters. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip it. All right. So these pieces, these relationships, these puzzle pieces, they stay together. Once you use them, you can't use them again and you can't separate them. So we can flip them, but don't separate them. Okay. So 250 over 40,000 units. Okay. Units is at the bottom. I need units to go to the top. So we got 17 units per kilogram per hour. Units has now crossed out. All right. We've got kilogram and hour at the bottom. Hour can stay, but kilogram has to go. So we got our patient's weight, but it's in pounds. But we know that 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Kilogram crosses out. And now we can put our weight at the top to cross out the weight. All right. So 145 pounds, weight crosses out. And now you have milliliter per hour. So we'll do our calculator trick. I'm going to enter all my values at the top with multiply in between. Once I get to that 145, I'm going to hit divide and put all my values in at the bottom with divide in between. Okay. So 250 times 17 times 145 divide 40,000 divide 2.2. So then that is 7.002. So 7 milliliters per hour that this is infusing. Okay. So if we have this going at 7 milliliters per hour, and we have a 250 milliliter bag, we need to see how long will that take, right? So if we're looking for hours, we'll take this and flip it. So we'll have hours over 7 ml. Y'all, I be kind of paranoid sometimes. I be have to enter it to the calculator like 50 million times. Do y'all do that too? Like, wait a minute. All right, 250 divided by 7 is going to be 35.71, right? So this is your hours and this is your minutes. So we need to know what 0.71 minutes is, right? So we'll take that 0.71 and you multiply it by 60, and that's going to give you your minutes. 0.71 times 60 equals 42.6. So 43 minutes. All right. So this is going to be 35 hours and 43 minutes that is going to take for this whole thing to be infused. All right. So erasing. If you were like, wait a minute, it's gone, I promise you can go back on the replay and slow it down and revisit it. Okay. So 35 hours and 43 minutes. Okay. So boom, if you started this at 8:30 on 4/6, we need to know what time will it be done, the time and date that it's going to be finished. Okay. So okay, this is more than a day, right? So we're going to break it up. So if you did 24 hours, that's going to still be the next day at 4/7, right? So We're on 4/7 the next day. So if you did 35 hours and 43 minutes minus your 24 hours, right? So 35 minus your 24 is going to be 11 hours and 43 minutes left. So if you did 11 hours and you added that to it, what is this going to be? This is going to be 1930. Then we got to add 43 more minutes. So we'll add 43 minutes to that. So that's going to be 30 minutes plus 30 minutes is going to be a whole nother hour. So then it'll be 13 on 4/7 that it would be completed. That one was a doozy, wasn't it? But I like it. Do we understand? Anybody have any questions about this one? They don't all like carry over into the next day, but I wanted to show you that you can break down your time in pieces and dates and add them together. Nope. Okay. So what is this one? Percent change. This one is for my friends that completely lost. I'm sorry. Let's see. So what we did on this past one right here, you had to find the rate of your IV drip. Once you found that rate, you had to see how long it took for it to infuse. Once you find the length of time, then you have to add that to the initial time and date that it starts. Where did the 7,400 come from? Sorry, it looks like 74. It's supposed to be a 24 hours. My bad. I got a little bit excited, brown beauty. So I just added 24 hours to it. Yeah. Yep. So you find the rate. The rate will tell you how many milliliters per hour. Then you find how many hours it will take for the whole bag to infuse. And then you take your times and you add them together. We'll do some more of these on Wednesday. Okay? All right. So this one is percent change, or your rate change. Okay. So if you got an IV of LR 1000 mLs and it's ordered to be, you're welcome, to be infused over 10 hours at 12 drops per minute. The drop factor is 15 drops per milliliter. After 6 hours, the nurse notices that only 450 mLs has been infused. Recalculate the rate in, GTT per minute, not GGT, for the IV to finish on time. And what is the percent of change? Okay, so therefore we know that we got a IV going and we need to see how fast it's going. Okay, because we are going to have to calculate percent change. Percent change is going to be the new rate minus the old rate divided by the old rate, and then you're going to times it by 100, and that's going to be your percent change. Okay, so hey, good evening. So therefore we're going to start with finding out the rate that this IV is going in at. Okay, so what do we need first? Our first order of business is to find out how many drops per minute this is going in. Okay, so we know that we have 1000 mLs going over 10 hours. Okay, and then it's going at 25 drops per minute. Well, if it told me that it's going at 25 drops per minute, I don't even have to find it anymore, right? Boom, boom. So then if 6 hours has passed and it's supposed to be going at 25 drops per minute and only 450 mLs is infused, that's not right. So therefore, we need to see how much is left and what is our new rate going to be. So we have 1,000 milliliters, okay, that we started with. And then after 6 hours, there is 450. That means that there is 550 mLs that's now left, right? So then we need to take our time, which is 10 hours that is supposed to go over, and 6 hours has passed. So then that means 4 hours is left. So therefore, our new rate is going to be 550 milliliters over 4 hours. So we need to find it in drop per minute. So we'll do our drop factor is what, 15 drops per milliliter. So we're looking for drops per milliliter. I'm going to start with my drops, okay? So then we'll do 15 drops per ml times 550 milliliters over 4 hours. We need to have hours at the top and minutes at the bottom. Hours crosses out. And so then this will be 15 times 550 divided by 4 divided by 60. So that's going to be 34.37. You can't give 0.37 of a drop, right? So therefore, you have to round it to the nearest whole number. So this is going to be 34 drops per minute. So that is our new rate, 34 drops a minute. So the percent change is going to be our old rate, our new rate, which is 34, minus our old rate, which was 25, divided by our old rate times 100. So where did I get 550 from? So 550 is 1,000 milliliters was to start with. Then you subtracted the 450 mLs that had been infused. So there were 550 that's left in the bag that still has to go in. Okay. All right. So 34 minus 25 divided by 25. And that's going to be 0.36 times 100 is going to give us 36%. So they say anything that's over, I think, 25% rate of change, percent of change is when you have to notify the doctor and let them know, like, hey, this was supposed to be going in at this amount, but the patient did not receive it, and this is how much is left in the percent of change. Okay. So basically, for percent of change, you have the old rate that something is going in at. You see how much is left. So you took that 1,000 minus your 450, and that's where you got your 550 milliliters from. Okay. We found our new rate, which was going to be our 34 drops per minute. So we take the new rate, old rate, divided by old rate, times 100, and that's your percent of change. Does anybody have any questions about this one? It's so cool of y'all to join me on a Sunday night. If y'all are enjoying this session of Work It Out Wednesday, y'all double tap on that screen for me. Let's get some likes out into the algorithm. I appreciate y'all sharing the live. I appreciate y'all being here and giving me feedback, giving me requests. So if y'all have any questions that you want to see on Wednesday, I do review the chat after I get done, so that I can see what I need to include for Wednesday night. Y'all go on over to YouTube, A Blessed RN. This is live right now on YouTube as well. And after we get done, you will be able to view this session. So if you do have a question about this problem that we just did, or you need to see it reworked, then you can slow it down, you can speed it up, whatever you want to do, okay? Hey, turn up. All right, boom. So next, what do we have? A PED safe dose. Do you give us access to a PDF of these problems? No, I don't have them in PDF format. I'm actually working on a workbook. It's just tough, y'all. It's hard to make up these questions and try to add fluff to them and make sure the numbers make sense. I promise you. But it's on the way in the near future. Keep a lookout for it. All right. A provider orders drug A, 125 milligrams PO twice a day for a child that weighs 42 pounds. The safe dose range for this medicine is 10 to 12 milligrams per kilogram per day. What is the safe dose range for this? And is this order safe? All right, so boom, I did a safe dose, pediatric safe dose session last Wednesday night. It is on the YouTube, so if you want more of those type problems, then you can go and view it. But for tonight, we'll do this one. So Safe Dose requires us to be detectives and determine if what has been ordered by the provider is safe. So the first thing that you're going to do is not touch that weight. Don't touch that weight. Everybody wants to say 42 divided by 2.2. No, don't touch it. I don't like converting anything outside of the problem because that's an extra step. The more steps you take, the more mistakes you can make. Let the math. If you know your conversion, put that 1 kg over 2.2, put your weight in. You won't have to worrying about how many decimals to add after the end, or if you have to round or whatever else. The math is going to take care of it, okay? So we are going to find our safety net. If those are going to be your lower limit and your upper limit, the lowest that you can give and the most that you can give, and that's going to be your safe zone. If it's outside that safe zone, then it's not going to be safe, okay? So this is what we'll use, all right? This and the patient's weight. So we'll do 10 milligrams per kg per day, okay? So then we've got our patient's weight. So remember, 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Boom, boom. And 42 pounds over 1. So everything has crossed out except for how many milligrams per day that the patient will receive. So cool. That's the least amount. 10 times 42 divided by 2.2 is going to be 190.9 milligrams per day. Okay, that's the least amount. We need to find the most. So 12 milligrams per kilogram per day times 1 kilogram per 2.2 pounds. Kilograms cross out, and we have our weight is 42 pounds over 1. Pounds crosses out. All right, so then we'll do it the same way. 12 times 42 divided by 2.2. Okay, 229.09. Or if they tell you to round it to the nearest tens place, then round it to the nearest tens place. Okay, all right, so this is our safety net. This is our safety zone. This is what the recommended dosage is. So it is at this or that number or in between, it will be considered safe. If it's less than these two values or more than these two values, it is not safe. Okay, so we've gotten that part out the way. Now you look back at what's been ordered. So this means that 125 milligrams, that is one dose of 125 milligrams by mouth 2 times a day. So if you have one dose of 125 milligrams times 2 doses in a day, that means they are going to get 250 milligrams in that whole complete day, right? Boom. So it's 250 milligrams in the whole day, right? These are your safe dose zones. Does this fit inside the safe zone? If it does, it's safe. If it does not, it is not safe. What are we saying about this order? Is it safe or not? Wow, you need to be a professor. You simplified it, easy to understand. Thank you. Thank you. I can't go back to school right now. I got my BS in. I got a toddler. She's kicking my butt. But I do want to go and get my either master's in education or my doctorate. So maybe not safe. Not safe. Not safe. Exactly. We're going to have to get on that telephone like, hey, bro, no. No, don't say that. But seriously, it's not safe. It's too much, right? Okay. Everybody understand why this dose is not safe. So the first step that you take is to find what is safe and what is not. What is the safe zone? What's the green zone? Okay. Then you go back to your order and determine if that order dose or how many milligrams per dose, how many milligrams per day. This case, we were doing milligrams on the top and days on the bottom, right? So how many milligrams in the entire day was safe? It was too much. All right. Boom, boom. Alrighty, y'all. Weight-based is my favorite. What type of specialties are y'all looking into going to? Y'all know I'm in med surg. I am an orthopedic nurse. I love it. The hip bone's connected to the such and such bone, and the such and such bone is peds. Okay, then, cool. So you like those peds safe dose. All right, the medication order reads: Drug B, 30 milligrams per kilogram per dose by mouth every 6 hours. The patient weighs 88 pounds. Drug B is available in a concentration of 200 milligrams per 5 mLs. How many mLs of the drug will you administer? Okay. So this is emergency labor and delivery site nurse. Oh, excited. Child, I gave, oh my gosh, I only had 3 patients on Friday night. The other 2 was just cool, chilling. My pop, I had to give him 2 doses of Geodone and 2 doses of Ativan. I was like, why are you fighting this? Okay. Can't do sight, but my hat's off to you. All right. So how many milliliters? Okay. So this is going to be a weight-based problem, PPP, patient prescription product. We want to know our patient's weight, we want to know the prescription, and we want to know the product, the medicine that's available. So we got 88 kgs, and we need 30 milligram per kg per dose, and then we have 200 milligrams per 5 milliliters. If we are looking for milliliters, we're going to start with milliliters, okay? So we'll take this puzzle piece and we'll flip it. 5 mLs over 200 milligrams. If you want to know if you're lost on where to start when you do dimensional analysis, start with what it is that you're looking for, okay? So then we have milligrams at the bottom. We need milligrams at the top. We'll use this puzzle piece. 30 milligrams per kg per dose. Milligrams crosses out. Now we've got kg and dose at the bottom. So we've got our patient's weight, which is already in kilograms. So we don't have to put 1 kilogram over 2.2 pounds because there are no pounds, okay? So then we've used that. Kgs crossed out, and what do we have? Milliliter per dose. So this is going to give you how many milliliters in 1 dose, okay? So we'll do 5 times 30 times 88 divided by 200, and that is going to be 66 milliliters. I love these problems. I can do weight-based all day long. Anybody have a question on how we set up dimensional analysis and do weight-based? I know I didn't like dimensional. Wow, right. I didn't like dimensional analysis in school, but now I would not I wouldn't suggest any other way. I used to love ratio and proportion, and of course, desired over half for like the quick ones. But yeah, you see, we've done about 5 different types of problems already using dimensional analysis, setting it up the same exact way. No formulas mentioned, right? All right. Okay, here we go. P safe dose. Drug. How do you figure out? How did I figure out this worked for you? Tutoring. I did, because if you see some of my earlier videos, like I had it like where you did the weight conversion and then multiplied it, and I was like, well, let me, because I didn't like dimensional analysis, but I was like, okay, let's do dimensional analysis too, because I didn't want to leave it out. And I was just like, wow, this is really the best way. Your favorite is desired over half. And I know it's easy to do like with simple problems, but when you get to stuff like that, or ones that's coming up later on in the life, like microgram per kilogram per minute, and you're not strong in math, then it could be very, very confusing. All right, so drug D, 4.5 milligrams by mouth once. The child weighs 13 pounds and 8 ounces. The recommended safe dose is drug D. For drug D is 1.1 to 2.2 milligrams per kilograms per dose every 4 hours as needed. Drug D is available in the concentration of 25 milligrams per milliliter. How many milliliters would you give is the ordered dose safe to give, okay? Exam 3 is on pediatric dosage. Hey, Devoy, how are you, my island friend? I'm glad you're here tonight. Alrighty, so therefore, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to see the green zone, right? The safe zone. So we'll take 1.1 milligram per kg. So listen, this says per 1.1 to 2.2 milligram per kilogram every 4 hours. You can imagine that says dose, okay? Because you're only going to give one dose of that every 4 hours, okay? So don't let that 4 hours, the frequency, because that's what that is. A frequency is how often do you give a dose. So you give one dose every 4 hours, okay? Don't let that part trip you up and get you confused, okay? So then we have our patient's weight, and it is 13 pounds and 8 ounces. This cannot be directly converted where we have our 1 kilogram over 2.2 because we have ounces in there. The ounces need to be converted to pounds. So we know that there are 16 ounces in the pound. So if we're trying to convert 8 ounces to pounds, we'll do 1 pound over 16 ounces times 8 ounces over 1. Your ounces cross out. 8 divided by 16 is going to be 0.5. So then we'll add that to our 13. So our new weight is going to be 13.5. So we'll do our 1 kg over 2.2 pounds, then 13.5 is your weight after you converted the ounces to pounds, okay? That's how you do that one. I failed my first dosage calc test, and I watched your live once, and it helped me understand. Yes, Yasmin, that's what's up. I'm so glad. Y'all, I'm so excited that it's clicking. The light bulb comes on because y'all spend too much money and time and sacrifices being made for you to have to sit out for dosage calculations. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, let other stuff be your worries, okay? So 6.75 milligrams per dose is the least amount, okay? The most we're going to do is 2.2 over kg per dose. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Kgs cross out, and now we got 13.5 pounds over 1. Pounds crosses out. So we'll do 2.2 times 13.5 divided by 2.2. And that's going to be 13.5 milligrams per dose. Okay, so our he said doing the Lord's work. Yes, I do have a YouTube channel. It's the same name, A Blessed RN. All right, so here we go. 6.75 to 13.5. This is our safe zone, okay? So now that we've determined that that was safe, we need to go to the order. So the order is this: 4.5 milligrams once. So if we have a dose of 4.5 milligrams, our safe zone is 6.75 to 13.5. Is this a safe dose? Hey, Leilani. Hey, Zamiria. Okay, yeah, Zamiria. I think I said it right the second time. Sorry, I don't like saying people's name wrong. 2.2 pounds is because there's 1 kilogram for every 2.2 pounds. You have to do your weight conversion because our order is milligram per kilogram. That gives me hope because I have math exam in the morning. Oh, okay. So no. Okay then. Yes, it is not a safe dose. Does everybody understand why this dose is not safe? Anything that's below that or more than that is not safe. Right. It's too low. It's not in the safe zone. Right. Okay. Y'all got it. So I don't know why these type questions be tripping you up. They be like, yes, no, maybe so. I don't know. All right. IV rate. Order: infuse 500 mLs of drug V, 1500 milligrams over 90 minutes. What will the nurse set the IV pump to administer the ordered dose? Okay, so boom, we know that IV can be administered 2 ways: in a pump or via gravity. When it says IV pump, that is your keyword to know that it is milliliter on the top and hour on the bottom. We want to know volume over time. Okay, so if you're a formula person, then if it says IV pump, is milliliter on the top, hour on the bottom. If we're doing this with dimensional analysis, we know that we're going to set our goal up for milliliter on the top and hour on the bottom. Same difference, okay? So look, there is some fluff in this problem, and I want y'all to look at it and look at it good, all right? This is not asking for a gram. It's not asking for a microgram. It's not asking for a milligram, okay? It is asking for milliliters, which is your volume, over time, which is 90 minutes. So when it says stuff like this, don't look at that, okay? It is fluff. Exactly. It is fluff. Flag nabbit fluff. All right. So we know that we have 500 milliliters and it says to go over. It literally says over 90 minutes. So you put 500 mLs over on the top of 90 minutes. Okay. So we have milliliters on the top, which is part of our goal, but we need hour at the bottom. So we'll put our minutes at the top and our hour at the bottom. 60 minutes is in 1 hour. Minutes crosses out, and now we're able to do some math. So it'll be 500 times 60 divided by 90, and that's going to be 333.333. I messed up with my other threes. Right? 333 repeating. So question: if this asks you to round to the nearest whole number, what will it be? What will it be? 333 milliliters per hour. Okay. And y'all, if you are doing dimensional analysis and you're not writing your units next to your numbers, then you're doing yourself a great disservice, because you see everything we're looking for is about what's on the top and what's on the bottom, and we're just crossing out units, the word part, right? If you don't have the units next to them, then you're not going to know what to cross out, and the numbers just become just numbers. Do you go over oxytocin? Like it's in pharmacology? No, I do a little sprinkle of a little bit of pharmacology here and there, but this is mostly just dosage calculation. Okay, micrograms per kilogram per minute. Another one of my favorites, okay? A patient is receiving an IV drip at 15 milliliters per hour. The patient weighs 100 kilograms. The drug is supplied in the concentration of 250 milligrams per 150 milliliters. How many micrograms per kilogram per minute is the patient receiving? All right, so this showed up on your test. Y'all let me know. Would you be able to solve this? I want to know. And it's okay. We can be honest here. This is a safe place. I don't know. No. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay then, Michael Perry. You better say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. Not yet. Okay. I like that. I like the positivity. Maybe. Okay. Okay. All right. So listen. This, remember how I said dimensional analysis is not like math, it's just solving a puzzle? We're going to use the same method that we've been doing all night to solve what this problem is that seemingly is so hard, okay? So what is our goal? It is to find microgram on the top per kilogram and minute on the bottom. Okay, so the first step after we find our goal and what it's asking is to write our relationships / puzzle pieces to the side. Okay, so we've got 15 milliliter per hour, so this goes over this and it stays together. Okay, and then our patient's weight is 100 kilograms. All right, it's by itself, so it's single, it's not with anybody. And then our medicine is 250 milligrams per 150 milliliters. All right. So we always want to start with what it is that we're looking for. We are looking for micrograms, but there is not a microgram in sight. I'm still going to start with it. Okay. So look, if we know that 1,000 micrograms are in 1 milligram, my milligrams are at the bottom now. And so then I can put my 250 milligrams per 150 milligrams next. Milliliters next. So 250 mg over 150 ml. Milligrams has now crossed out. We've already got part of our goal. Okay. Next, the milliliters have to get crossed out too. Okay. So we'll use this. So 15 ml per hour, milliliters crossed out. Now we've got hour at the bottom. We need minutes. So we do 1 hour is 60 minutes. Hours crosses out. We've got another part of our goal. Okay. Next, we've got kilograms that has to go on there. So you remember how on like the regular problems, we'll put our weight and we'll put 1 on the bottom. This time we're going to flip it and put that 1 on the top. So we'll do 1 over 100 kgs. And now you have microgram per kilogram per minute. Boom. Like who is that? Michael? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Michael Perry. 1538. So wow. Exactly. So somebody asked me something about desired. Is dimensional analysis easier than ratio proportion for this? Yes, because look, we're finished now. Ratio and proportion, you had to find the ratio and proportions for like 3 different things. All right, so 1,000 times 250 times 15. I don't put my ones in because they don't make a difference. So this is like in the millions, right? If you wrote it down, you probably forget a 0. And then you need 100%. And we don't want you to not pass because you didn't put something in the calculator right. Keep it in the calculator. Do it 2 or 3 times. Make sure you get the same number. That's what I do. All right. It is 60 divided by 100. So that is going to be 4.16666 repeating. So if this asks us to round to the nearest whole number, it would be 4. If this asks us to round to the nearest 10th, it would be 4.2. Yeah, micrograms per kilogram per minute. You round according to however HESI, ATI, your professor, whatever tells you to round, okay? I love this way. Me too. I'm telling you, why is kilograms at the bottom? Because that's part of our goal. Because it asks us to find microgram per kilogram per minute. It says it's going to stop due to what? Inactivity. Okay. All right. That was really weird. Okay. So can you do some drop factor? Yep. I have some on there. Yes. Can this be solved with desired over half? It could be. It's a real long process. Now, if you are comfortable with math, then yeah. But, because you'll have to take, you have to set up your ratio proportion first and do how many micrograms that you will be getting per hour. And then you have to divide it by 60 and get your minutes. And then you would do, well, see, that's not even desired over half because you've already got what you desire and what you have. And then you just got to divide that by your weight in kilograms. So then that'll be microgram per kilogram and then over how many minutes. So this way is way easier for the novice in math. Okay, do you have can you recommend a workbook? I don't have one yet and I don't know. I'm sorry. It's coming. I promise you it's coming. All right. So yeah, y'all. Yes, this is how you would do this. Okay. Do I teach NCLEX? No, but Nurse Kevin does. Nurse Kevin. He sure does. I think he was on live earlier. I don't know if he's still on tonight. Right now. But yeah, y'all go follow him. He'll help you. He'll help you out. He does lives on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I think at 5 o'clock or 5:30 Central Time. But he breaks down NCLEX stuff because people ask me and I'm like, nope, I don't do that. This is my baby. Okay. So IV infusion. Okay. Order is to infuse 700 mLs of normal saline over 45 minutes. What will the nurse set the IV to administer the bolus fluid dose? Okay. So this one, I was supposed to put pump on there and I inadvertently left it off, but we're going to find milliliter per hour. Okay. People who can do desired over half scare me. This is so much easier. I'm telling you. I tell you, like desired over half it can get you to where you need to go, like for the simple stuff. But for the hard stuff like we just did then, it's just too much. It's too much math involved and too many steps. Like I said, the less steps you take, the less mistakes you make. All right, so we need milliliter per hour. So we got 700 milliliters over 45 minutes. 700 mLs is to go over 45 minutes. We need milliliter per hour. So we'll do our our minutes at the top and our hour at the bottom. Minute crosses out and then we have milliliter per hour. That's it. That's so simple. It could all be so simple, but we rather make it hard. Rather, that was the realest thing somebody ever put in a song, ever in the ever of evers. I don't care. It could all be so simple. So this is going to go at 933.33333 or 933 if you rounded it to the nearest whole number milliliters per hour. Okay. Yes, Miss Desiree Adams, 44. Volume over time times V over T times R. Yeah. Could you explain just a bit loss? Yes, Autumn. So this is requiring us to find milliliter over hour. So IVs are the volume over the time. Okay. So how much liquid are you going to give over how long? So it tells us to go 700 mLs over 45 minutes. They want a whole bunch of fluids to go a little bit fast, right? Because you see, oh my God, 933 milliliters an hour. Yeah, they trying to give them a bolus of fluid, probably trying to raise their blood pressure or something, okay? So listen, you put your milliliter over your time. On an IV pump, you can only set it for milliliter per hour, okay? So that is why we need this. That's our goal. So since we only have over minutes, we have to put our minutes at the top right here in our 1 hour because there are 60 minutes in an hour. Your minutes are at the bottom and at the top, so they cross out. So therefore, you are left with milliliter per hour. And what did I do to multiply to get that answer? So I did the calculator trick. Like I said, I ain't wrote down that now. Multiply top, divide, and then, divide because that's a lot. So, and you might miss a zero or something. So you do 700 times 60. Then you hit divide. Boom. Then you hit 45 and hit the equal sign one time. And that'll give you your answer. Y'all got it? Okay. Alrighty. So the healthcare provider prescribes a continuous IV. You're welcome. Of IV of dextrose 5% in half normal saline with KCl, which is potassium, 20 milliequivalents in a 1,000 ml bag to be infused over 12 hours. How many milliliters per hour will the nurse set on the IV pump? Round to the nearest whole number. So this one has a lot of fluff McGruff in it too. Okay. Do you have any weight-based questions and safe dose? Mick talk. You missed my weight-based and my safe dose. But what you can do is go over to YouTube, a Blessed RN, and the replays from this and other Study Buddy Sunday and Work It Out Wednesdays are right on there. Okay, so this problem has a lot of fluff, right? Because it says we need milliliter per hour. That's our goal. We want ml over hour, and we have a lot of numbers and percentages and all that. This stuff is fluff. We need volume over time. So we want 1,000 mLs to go over 12 hours. 1,000 divided by 12 is going to be 83.33333 repeating. So we'll do 83 mLs per hour because our instructions said round to the nearest whole number. You're welcome. All right, here's a drop per minute. That's it. And that's it. It was so simple. It makes it look hard, but once you realize the fluff and what you need, after you read the question, what is it that you're looking for? Okay, if it don't have anything to do with a milligram or microgram or whatever, it's gone. All that extra info is too much. I know it's fluff. I know. How can we know what the fluff is and what's important? Just like what I was saying, just you find your goal, what it is that you need to find, and then those are the elements that you would use. Okay. This is the same math we do every day in pharmacy school. Okay, Pharm D. Yes. Helps when I was a pharmacy tech. Yes, ma'am. Can you do one where you're looking for a milliliter per minute? I don't know if I have one already prepared, but I can do one Wednesday night. What's the difference between rate and infusion? Nothing. It's just a different way to say it. I'm in dosage count now, final in 2 weeks. Yes, it's clicking more now. Okay, awesome. You must return and let us know how you did. Yes. Okay, all right, so boom, order. 750 mLs of normal saline to infuse over 8 hours. On hand is IV tubing with a drop factor of 20 drops per milliliter. Calculate the flow rate in drops per minute. All right, so remember what I said? It said IV pump, that's automatically going to be milliliter per hour. This one has a tubing drop factor in it. So what a drop factor is, if you ever seen the IV tubing at clinical and it's got that chamber that you squeeze and then you see it dripping in it, that is your drop chamber. A drop factor is how many drops does it take to administer 1 milliliter of fluid. That's all a drop factor is, okay? But we need it to calculate a drop rate, all right? Well, our factor, our drop factor is needed to calculate our flow rate. Lord. All right, so we need drops on the top and minutes on the bottom. So I'm gonna write my puzzle pieces to the side so I won't get confused and I know what I can use. All right, so 750 is going over 8 hours. We have a drop factor of 20 drops per ml, and that's all we're given. So we're looking for drops on the top. We start with our drops on the top, so we'll do 20 drops over ml. I've used that. Now I've got milliliter on the bottom, and then I need milliliter at the top. So 750 mLs over 8 hours. Milliliters crosses out. I've got drops on the top, which is part of my goal, but I got hours at the bottom. I need minutes. So I'll do my hour at the top, minutes at the bottom. In 1 hour, there are 60 minutes. Hours crosses out, and now we're at the goal. Okay, so now we go to our calculator and we put 20 times 750 divided by 8 divided by 60. And that's going to be 31.25. So you ain't never seen a fourth of a drip. Either a drip or none. So you have to round these to the nearest whole number. So that's going to be 31 drops per minute. 31 drop rounded to the nearest whole number. Yes, Wilbur. Yep. If y'all are enjoying this live session, y'all double tap that screen for me. I appreciate it. Oh, buddy. It's Sunday night. The weekend goes by so fast. My med math exam is tomorrow. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I pray that you do well on it. All right. So what do we have here? D5, half normal saline with 20 milliequivalents of calcium chloride per liter is to infuse at 80 milliliters per hour. On hand is IV tubing with 15 drops per ml drop factor. Calculate the flow rate in drops per minute. Okay, so we are here and we are looking for drops on the top and minutes on the bottom. Okay, so look, remember what I said? All this stuff is fligated, flag navigated fluff, but this says liter, right? So we know that 1 liter is how many milliliters? 1 liter is how many milliliters? I took my med math test yesterday and failed. Now how am I getting these right? I don't know. Maybe you're nervous. Do you have to? Okay, right. 1,000 mLs, right? So we'll do 1,000 mLs, and that's in the bag. But then guess what? Look, isn't that a rate? Isn't that how many milliliters per hour? So we don't even need that part. So that was fluff 2. You see? Do you see? It already gave you how fast it is supposed to be going. So it'll go at 80 milliliters per hour. All right. And then we've got our drop factor of 15 drops per ml. We need drops on the top. We start with what we're looking for. We don't have to go and find it then. So 15 drops per ml times 80 milliliters per hour. Milliliters crosses out, and now we've got hour at the bottom. I'm gonna put my hour at the top, my minutes at the bottom. 1 hour is 60 minutes. Hours crosses out, and now we're ready to do some math. 15 times 80 divided by 60. It's going to be 20 drops per minute. Is this making sense? Is it clicking? I like it. That's all. Yeah, y'all ain't gonna have to worry about dosage calc now. When y'all get med-surg and peds and OB and all that stuff, you have to go to somebody else's channel. I'm just trying to get you over this little one hump, okay? Alrighty. So this one is a milligram per day problem. Okay. Make it look easy. It is easy. Yes. All you're doing is solving a puzzle, crossing out everything you don't need, and that's it. Can you do infusion rate problems? What do you mean? Like the ones we've been doing, like the milliliter over hour and drops per minute? I'm an OB now, and honestly, they're the same caliber, just way more fluff. Like when you do OB, they have like magnesium problems or Pitocin, and Pitocin is measured in units or milliunits, and that's what trips up people with that. But it's just a change of the unit of measure, just like you have potassium, and it can't be measured in a milligram. It has to be measured in a milli equivalent because of the electrical activity of an electrolyte. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. So, doctor ordered 10 mLs of drug A by mouth 4 times a day. The drug strength for drug A is 200 milligrams per 5 mLs. How many milligrams of drug A did the physician order for the entire day? So, this one is asking us to find what? How many milligrams on the top over day? All right. So, we have 10 milliliters. That's in a dose, right? And then it says 4 times a day. So therefore, that is 4 doses in one day. Our medicine is 200 milligrams per 5 milliliter. And we want to know how many milligrams per day. Okay, so we're looking for milligrams. We're going to start with our milligrams, right? So we'll do 200 mgs per 5 ml. mLs are at the bottom, so I'll put my milliliters at the top now, and I'll use that. So 10 ml per dose. Milliliters crosses out. Now I've got dose at the bottom. I need dose at the top. 4 doses in one day, and then dose crosses out, and so now what are we left with? Milligrams per day. That's it. So then we'll do 200 times 10 times 4 divided by 5, and that's going to be 1600 milligrams in a day. Yup. So that's what we did. Because Bella, it said 4 times a day, QID. So that means that you give 1 dose 4 times a day. All right. So if anybody needs private tutor, if you just want to break it down a little bit more, you can go here. If you go on there and you don't see a time available, just shoot me an email. My email is below. My emails are open. I will be back on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central Time. When do I go live? Yeah, just to tell you. Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Time. And then Sundays are 7:30 p.m. Central Time. And the lives are on YouTube. I'm